Crye-Leike. Half the year is over, and I thought I'd take a little time to give you a mid-year update. And I guess the question for you is, are you on track? Good news for all of us is that the demand is still very, very good. Demand is great. What I've been doing, I've been tracking the MLS numbers. You know, we're members of a bunch of MLSs in the 9 markets that we serve, plus all the franchises. And what we're seeing is that we're actually tracking, even though the MLS numbers are down, Crye-Leike is tracking, in most cases, in many of the markets, we're tracking a little bit better than what is happening in the market. So that's good news. That says we're out there working, we're still active in the market, and thank you, all of you, for keeping your business going and staying busy, even though we're in some difficult economy and a little bit higher interest rates. What we're seeing is that the low inventory, we've had low inventory for the last few years, up a little bit. One of the things I read recently in the Mortgage Bankers Association information that they send out is that 60% of the mortgages that are out there are less than 4%. Let me repeat that. 60% of the mortgages on homes that are out there are less than 4%. So what that says to me is that a lot of those folks are probably not going to be moving anytime soon, and they're in existing houses with the existing loans. And so that goes real well for home builders. New construction is thriving very, very well. Builders are doing very well, making a lot of profit on the houses that they're selling. They're just not doing enough of those, and so we're seeing that a lot of agents are selling new houses and probably having to wait a few months for those houses to get completed and get built. But new construction is probably where we have to go to find good inventory to sell, because again, the good news is there's still very, very strong buyer demand. Probably for this second half, one of the things I would encourage all of you to do is work on your spheres of influence. You don't want to have to drive down the street and see a house that you sold a few years ago and see some other company's yard sign in that yard, and you wonder, well, why didn't they call me back? They didn't call you back because you didn't stay in touch. So we're going to encourage you to stay in touch with all your spheres of influence. That's particularly important now since there is such a shortage of inventory. One of the things that we hear is that something that's called the triangle of success. And the triangle of success for a real estate agent is that customers, buyers, sellers, homeowners, when they get ready to sell or buy a house, they will use someone that they know, someone that they like, and someone that they trust. And in many cases, it doesn't really matter how long that person's been in the business, because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. That triangle of success is something that we all need to keep in mind when we're working with customers and when we're looking at staying in touch with customers. Another good news is the Mortgage Bankers Associations, they are forecasting that the rates are going to start to come down a little bit. Good news for us. They're projecting that probably by the time we get to late this year, they should be in the high 5s, 5.8 or so. And as we get into next year, they're saying 4.9, so it should be below 5% is their projection for 2024. Now, change subjects on you. Our wealth building program is going exceptionally well, much better than we ever dreamed possible. But the wealth building program now has over 400 high producing agents that are already signed up and active and enrolled in the program. Remember, you have to make over $100,000 your first year to be eligible to get in the program. And we already have over 400 people already signed up. And we have new agents joining. It seems like every week there's new people calling saying, how do I get in the program? And other good news is we've been able to recruit agents from some of our competitor companies that heard about the program. They want to be in the program. They see how great it is. We recruited agents from Keller Williams, from Berkshire Hathaway. We recruited them from Compass. We recruited them from EXP. And we recruited several small companies that have joined because the agents that were in that company wanted to be in the wealth building program. So keep that in mind. You're out there, you're co-oping with agents, and you know that they're a producer, or maybe they just ask you a question about the wealth building program. We've been sending out postcards and emails about the program, so if someone asks you about it, you now have information that it takes $100,000 to initially get in the program, and the program already has over 400 agents already signed up for it, which means that in 10 years or 15 years, if they're younger, they will begin to get a monthly retirement check. Not a bad gig for those folks that are in the program. They're looking forward to their retirement years, looking forward to having excess money come in at about the same time for many of them that they're getting their Social Security check. Also, I want to announce that the Destin Conference, I want to give a shout out to Christy Jones, doing great work on that, and we now have, I'm told that there are over 499 that have already signed up and registered for the program, and that's a good bit ahead of where we normally would have been this time of year, so here in July. And so we're pleased with that number, and if you haven't already registered, please do so. We got some exciting speakers, a lot of education breakout sessions, plus it's a great time for you to bring the family down, spend a little time at the beach, spend some time in the classes, sharpening the axe, and by the way, it is a tax write-off, so where else can you go and get a tax write-off chance to go to the beach and wiggle your toes in the sand? So come and have some fun with that and sharpen the axe down in Destin. Probably the best strategy for, we want to say, the best strategy for the second half of the year, and I know all of you are wanting to make sure you wrap up the year very, very strongly. Your best strategy is what we're calling reconnect with your customers. To reconnect with your customer, you have to pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, because the saying that we've heard is contacts equal contracts. Contacts equal contracts. So we're going to encourage you to pick up the phone, spend some time, allocate some time every day to pick up the phone, call your past customers, call your spheres of influence. They're all curious about what's going on in the real estate industry, and we've given you a couple of facts today that you can share with those customers. So you do your part. If you do those things, you'll be very, very successful, and we'll all have a great second half of the year. So again, thank you, Crye-Leike, and let's go get it.